We've been around since 2005. We're a Seattle-based consulting company. Our focus has been on Microsoft Project for over a decade. We've also been involved with SharePoint and more recently Power BI. So if you do have questions regarding Office, Project, SharePoint, or Power BI, whether it's deployment, implementation, training, or anything else, feel free to reach out and give us a call. You can also see down here our featured offerings, Timebook and Quick Project. Those are some recent enterprise applications we've launched, and those are both available on iOS and Google Play Store. So Will, I know you were a big driving factor behind the creation of the AdValue Pack. Can you kind of give us a little bit more about the why we created this?
Yeah, thanks very much, John. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining today. As we've been working with a number of our customers over the last couple of years, we've really come to understand that getting project online is not as easy and seamless as it could be. In fact, there's a fair amount of pain for a number of customers getting project online up and running. And so what we've done with the Advaiya AdValue Pack for Project is to make that more seamless, more painless, and easier for customers. And so what we've done is packaged together at a fixed price, which we'll tell you at the end, or unless you've read the email, you already know what it is, but there's a discount at the end for anybody on this call that'd like to engage us. We've taken what happens in a deployment and implementation of Project Online, and we have productized it. So made it easy for us to deploy on your behalf. That starts with a methodology for planning. You can't just run into implementing software like this. You have to think about how you're going to do it, what aspects of the business need to be reflected in Project Online, how those are going to be implemented, and then move forward in a structured and process-oriented way. Once that planning is done, the implementation is quick and easy. On top of that, we've created, and Darren will be taking you through this, a number of dashboards and reports that are really click to deploy. So we get them up and running. They can be customized, for you based on some of your business needs, but they're dashboards that take what is already available in Project Online and make it more useful and more readily available and understandable for the three different audiences that we've designed these for. And those audiences, the standard role-based views we've created, are for executives, for project managers or the Office of Project Management, as well as for the team members. Additionally, within the AdValue Pack, we've put together some built-in workflows that standardize project management phases, and they align to the industry standards around project management. So you're following those, and you'll see that as Darren goes in, how it follows the PMBOK standard process for running projects, and evidences where you are in a project at any point in time, especially within the team space. We've also configured a project workspace for better tracking and collaboration. One of the things that Darren will explain is that it's very difficult for a participant in a project to really understand where they are, what they need to be doing, what their tasks are in any particular moment. And so we have pre-populated that or pre-configured that type of a team site so that the individual can go in and understand exactly where they are. And finally, as much as this is a package and is pre-packaged, obviously this is extensible and it can be customized to meet your specific needs. And so with that, I think we just dive right in and hand it over to Darren, with really the first aspect being deployment. Now, he's not going to take you through an entire deployment, because that would take, even though it's short, a day or two. This is what will happen.
Yeah, hi, Will. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. So, really what we had in mind was to make this a very quick deployment, something that can be turned around really quickly. Because we know what kind of a pain. Usually, a PM office, has some sort of mandate to get this going, and they really don't know how to start, and it's, it needs to be done next week, or in a lot of cases last week. So we've created something that's really, really quick. the beauty is that we provide you with a packet of information that you can kind of work through, and you answer some questions, some simple questions, provide us with some different aspects of Project Online that you want to implement for your tenant. And then we take care of that for you. We have a bunch of automation that we've established that just make it really easy to to make that deployment go really quick. And it includes any kind of information, enterprise specific information that you want to incorporate into Project Online, for your projects or for your tasks or resources. We also update the stages and phases of your workflow. So if you have a little bit different methodology, then we can customize that a little bit. Yeah. What was that, Will? You wanted to ask a question about Agile. Yeah, so if you had an Agile deployment, then we can customize that workflow so that it aligns a little bit more, a little bit tighter to, kind of the Agile methodology. Maybe the execution phases has some different stages in it that are a little bit different than the PMBOK 5.0 that you were referring to.
So it's set up originally as waterfall, but can an agile process can be incorporated within it?
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic.
And then we also, configure your tenant for you. We set up those reports, and then of course at the end we provide you with some training documentation, that really helps you to, get deployment much quicker and get adoption much quicker, which is really the key. I mean, that's why you're doing this, is so that people will adopt it and so that you can get the information out. And we want to really leverage our knowledge and our past experience to make it easy for customers to do that. So let me go ahead and just jump right in.
That sounds great. You're going to start with the executive view?
Yeah, so what I have here, first of all, is just real quickly, this is kind of the out-of-box Project Online homepage, right? This is where people go. They just land on the homepage, right? When you send out a link to your organization, say, hey, we've deployed Project Online, right? You send them a link and this is what they get. And they look at this and they're like, what? What is this, right? So the first thing that we've done is created a role-based homepage.
Right? And so those homepages are different for
That's right, yeah. So if you were an executive, you obviously want to see something different than if you're a team member on a project, right? So we've created these, we've established the mechanisms to have these role-based homepages. So when an executive goes to the PWA, Project Online, they get to see their dashboard. When a team member...
And that's automatic based on their sign-in.
Automatic, yeah, it's automatic. So this is what the executive sees, right? And let me just make this a touch bigger for people. So this is what an executive sees. See, an executive doesn't want to see, what percentage a specific task is or what tasks are going to be executed today necessarily. What they want to do is see at a high level what's going on in their organization. And we've set up these filters so that it makes it easy for the executive to navigate their way through the portfolio to identify the really specific projects that they need to focus their attention on, because executives are fantastic at getting things done. That's how they got to where they are, right?
Working through others.
That's right. So the idea is that we want to really enable them to focus their attention. So what we've done is, we've put some high level metrics, right? Because they're always going to be asking these questions, whether it's because they're going to go talk to somebody about some funding or something else, right? We have high level numbers, but then we also have, like the project budget, the budgets spent, and the remaining budget. Those are things that are across the entire portfolio, based on either a some sort of a project type. Imagine if you had different templates for different types of project. Maybe there's marketing projects, maybe there's portal projects, right? You can make that kind of separation and create those kind of filters so that you could understand these numbers within the confines of that filtering. But then you also see, like the percent complete, the percent work complete, right? You can see some of the cost variance, the work variance. And then if you're using baselines, you can see the cost performance index and schedule performance index. And then, we
So
also,
all of this information is coming straight out of Project Online, Darren.
that's right. Yeah.
Execs are often interested in understanding their project states beyond just the project data. Is it
Right.
possible to bring other data into this type of a dashboard?
As a matter of fact, there is. Power BI really enables people to create dashboards that incorporate multiple data sets, right? And it's fantastic because you can incorporate those into your dashboard. For example, what we've done is we've included an area here for pipeline. Right, so you can see
that's the bottom right.
Yeah,
visual.
that's this section here, and what we've done is we can pull in data from CRM, for example, right, and we can understand from the status of those CRM opportunities how soon those opportunities are going to be coming into the project realm.
So
Right,
from an
so-
executive point of view, forecasting and
right.
resources and effort needed is going to be much easier given a dashboard like
Right,
this.
we can look at that and go, we need to hire some more resources because we've got so much coming in, right, or whatever.
That's
right?
a high class problem.
Exactly. So, but also we've added, kind of this section that says, kind of this red flag area where executives can look at that and go, oh, wow. Well, I do need to drill into this audit tracking solution so that I understand that a little bit more. And then they can click on that, and all of these filters will change based on, that selection. And I can really kind of see what's going on, with that project. So that's kind of the idea with having an executive dashboard. The next dashboard that we're going to look at is project manager dashboard. The project manager dashboard is really more specific to to a project manager, somebody who's leading projects. Now, we've designed this dashboard so that not only is it useful for the project manager, but it's also useful for the PMO manager.
So the person that's directing all of the project
That's right.
managers.
So whether it's a PMO or
so
whether
the
it's just
Darren Lang of any organization.
Yeah, exactly. So I can come here and I can use this to drive that conversation I have during a one-on-one, for example. I can, select my, project manager I'm meeting with, and I'm able to get, all that information about, these different, what these project managers are working on. Right, and I can see at a high level what's going on. And if I am, let's say I'm using this dashboard to see what is going on with my projects, I can also drill in. I can see at a higher level, but I can also drill in and see the information specific for this project. So I can see what's going on this week. I can see what milestones are being worked on, and then if I have additional questions, I can drill into that. To that project and go to the project team site, right? So in SharePoint, so I can do that right from this dashboard. I don't have to go to Project Center to find it.
So much easier to keep the workflow, keep your own personal workflow under control because you're not moving from one site to another and trying to match things.
Trying to figure that out. And the nice part is that really it's a much more intuitive, right, to the natural, exploration and daily activity of a project manager, right? So we click on this and I can go to the home page. Now what we've done is we've created this home page. Let me show you what a sample home page looks like. This is a sample home page.
This is for the project manager.
This is for actually anybody that is participating in this project. Right, Project Online integrates with SharePoint, O365, so we create these SharePoint sites, and we can put in document libraries and lists and et cetera. And this is the default SharePoint site, right? But what we've done is we've customized this so that it shows a little bit more information. Let me just zoom in this a little bit, right? So we can see On the top, we can see what stage, this project is in, right? Just instantly. And a lot of times for the project manager, they're going to know. But for those other kind of more casual observers, like the PMO manager, right? They want to know. And this is nice and bold right up at top. And then we also have these different sections that not only summarize at a high level what's going on with each one of those sections, the tasks, risk, issues, and related links, but it also provides a nice navigational aspect to these. So if I'm looking at risks, I can click on my active risks and I go to that list of active risks, right? So it really makes a great navigational tool, as well as just a summary of information about this project. And we can really, this information is great. You can copy and paste this into a PowerPoint deck for a part of your status, or whatever. But you can see over here that I also have some additional information about some lessons learned, which is a great best practice to start capturing those lessons learned earlier than the day before the closeout meeting, right? So we have that list ready for you. Of course, you have another best practice that I don't see in a lot of organization is a stakeholder registry, right? So you can start recording who those stakeholders are. Of course, we have document counts, we have test plans, right? Which is like how you're going to test a certain feature, or what aspects of the feature you're going to test. And then, of course, we have a list of the deliverables, right, that you can click on. You go right directly to that list. And these deliverables can be associated in your project professional, right? So it's very tightly integrated, and it really works really smoothly with those. And then, in addition, we have this big area, this project burn in the middle here, where it shows basically, how many assignments, each person has who has assignments. And then it even includes those unassigned, right? So let's say you have, 100 hours of unassigned tasks, right? It means that you need to go into that project plan and start filling out the assignments for that, for those tasks, right? That's a good, really useful information as well. But then for those organizations that are tracking this information closely, right, you can also see that we calculate the cost as well. We show what the cost rate is, and then we calculate the burn and how much, so that you can stay on top of that all the time.
So this is the drill down from where the execs saw a certain project that was over budget.
Right.
You can go down and talk to the project manager, and the project manager can then drill down further into understanding exactly which elements of the project or which resources are either performing to task or above or below.
And this is great. This augments really great with the resource tool that Project Online already provides. So this really is fantastic. The other thing that's great about this is that this is a SharePoint site. This is just a SharePoint page. So you can still have all of those SharePoint web parts that you would normally want, right? So you can integrate to Yammer, you can do RSS feeds, you can do, any other kind of
any additional, but some of the standard ones the AdValue pack has taken those and placed it up in in that top navigation system, so that your document library is already there, your risks and issues lists are already pre-populated there, a stakeholder map is already pre-populated there as well.
Right, that's exactly right.
So that's the pre-configured portion of the AdValue pack that makes it so much easier to run projects.
Yes, this alone is really super, right? Because so often people struggle trying to find the information, right, to answer those questions that managers and executives have, like how are we doing for burn, or just like, let's talk about the issues. How do you find the issues? And it really makes it much more organized.
So this is the team site. What else do we have to?
So the other thing that I wanted to show you. So this is once you come to the team site, you can see this information. But then we also have developed a similar page for team members.
So each individual team member.
So we had the executive dashboard for executives when they come in. We have project manager dashboards, and then we also created a team member dashboard. And the idea with the team member dashboard, I'm just going to zoom in this a little bit further, right? The nice thing is that when they go to PWA, they see this list, and they can instantly see, what how
So when
many
they go to
projects.
Project Online, they see this list with the AdValue pack.
That's
And if
right.
they didn't have the AdValue pack, what would they be
Well,
looking at?
they would see the out of the box web part like this or PWA, right? This is what they would see. This is so
So they would
every
have to
user.
search for finding out what their tasks were,
Yeah,
where they were in a process, what was coming up next.
exactly. They would have to go to the project center and and they can look through their portfolio list, and you look at this, and this is usually configured so that the project manager makes sense out of this, but a lot of times a user is not going to know what's going on here, and it's like, what do I need to do here? Sometimes you've got to click on little icons over here, and sometimes you got to click on the project, right? So you just got to, the adoption is just, it's a lot more steps, and so you just don't get the same kind of adoption, right? And by having this team page, right, this team's member page dashboard, it just makes it super easy, right? You can see everything that's going on. You can navigate through your projects, right, and you can see the list of tasks, right, and what percent they are complete, right, and so I can see future tasks, right, as well for that project. I mean, this just makes it really super to stay organized, or really understand what you need to do for each of these projects.
Well, it's easy to track your issues and your risks that you need to resolve as this project is moving forward.
Right. So if in a project like in this remove productive lighting project, I have a couple of issues, right, and so I can easily access those issues that I need to take care of. Now these aren't just regular issues, right? These are the ones that are issues as a result of, the risk planning and the risk mitigation, and it turned out that risk, all of a sudden it became real and it became an issue, right? And so this is something usually that people really plan for, and it's a legitimate, real issue.
And so every organization has their own definition of what a risk or an issue is, and the AdValue pack allows us to configure that up front, so that gets the right information to each and every individual on the team.
So those are the kind of the key aspects to the AdValue pack. We make it easy to deploy. We create these custom dashboards for executives, project manager, and team members, and then we modify that homepage so that it really is super useful, and it's really easy to use and understand what's going on with the project.
Fantastic.